Welcome, 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 everyone. And I am unmuted. Welcome, everyone, to another adventure into reality. Dun, 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 dun. Coming in, enter the room. If you're raising your hand already, lower your hand. I didn't tell you to raise your hand, did I? Smack on the hands of the people that raise their hands. That's right. Impulsiveness. You must learn impulse control. There's still two people there with their hands raised. Lower those hands. Morgan, Natalie, and Santo. Everyone lower your hand. Yeah, that's right. I didn't tell anyone to raise their hand yet. There's all those people still raising their hands. Everyone I told not to raise their hand. Lower thy hands. I didn't tell anyone to raise your hands yet. Morgan Freedom.
I think Santo's messing with you.
Yeah, I know. But Morgan still got his hand up. Because these are the people that raise their hand and walk away from their computer and don't listen to the first 10 minutes of the show. Bad. So if your hand is already up, you're not going to get selected from the wheel of callers. So, Robert, that's a new rule.
All righty. Morgan.
Okay.
Morgan. We see you. Your hand is raised.
Okay. Just 1 second. I want to pull up a document. I want to read you a few unique comments. Oh, I am such a horrible document namer. I think this is it. Nope, I can't find my document. I was going to read you something funny. Here we go. I'm going to read you some insults. Now, why am I reading you these insults? For two reasons. I am not trying to insult you. I'm trying to help you be triggered into comedy, concept, and other aspects. Somebody's asking over there about update on coronavirus and global narrative. Ask me that question when you call in. Now, why am I reading these insults to you? Really, I just want to have some fun. So here is an example of some very unique insults. I envy people who have never met you. If you like these insults, go in and click on the chat button and it'll type in ha ha ha, like or don't like. Okay, yes, I envy people who have never met you. You're not pretty enough to be that dumb. Come on, use that ability to type into that chat room. Yeah. If genius skips a generation, your children will be brilliant. Now, for all you YouTube people who are coming in here, why isn't he talking spiritual shit? Why isn't he giving me what I demand? Fuck you. There is a point in which you all must be ready to understand you have the charm and charisma of a burning orphanage. Okay? I refuse to have battle of wits with an unarmed person. Someday, this is a personal favorite one for all the spiritually enlightened people, someday you will find yourself and you will be disappointed. You are the stone in the shoes of humanity. If I throw a stick, will you go away? And last but not least, if you have something to say, raise your hand and put it over your mouth. Ha ha. Ouch. Exactly. Now, I collected those insults because I'm writing a story called An Insulting Story. It's one of those things that I do for fun because people ask me all the time, what do you do for fun? Find those things that allow me to express parts of myself. And for all you serious stick up the ass people, this show has a serious side, but it also has a fun side to it. So I want everyone to take their fun side and put it to the present today. So if you want to have a talk with me and you're overly serious, I'm not going to talk to you today. Now, for people who want to have a fun conversation with me, you can raise your hand. If you don't want to have a fun conversation with me, leave that hand down. Oh, look at that. No one raised their hand. Ha! Ha 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 ha! No, you got to give me what I want. Oh, I got hands coming up now. David, Robert, let's pick Monty Dean. I'm not going to do Wheel of Colors today. I'm going to do Andrew's choice.
Monty Dean, let's see. Monty, you're unmuted with Andrew.
Monty, how you doing
Andrew.
today? Long time no talk to. The irony,
well,
the day I do comic, the comic appears.
Well, irony, synchronicity, or we've planned it from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah. Fetus in the womb, we were sitting there sharing a beer going, on February 20th at 6:04, we're going to fuck with them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that beer. It was like, I think the conversation started with, do you feel warm? I feel warm. Oh, yeah, I spoke to you last year. It feels so long ago. I've got one question, which
Sure.
And we can go anywhere. With the Schumann resonance and the lunar and the magnetics and all the energy changing. That's the best way of explaining it. I've been feeling energy either coming in or out of just at the top of my spine, the lower part of the neck, just to the left of the spinal column. I'm wondering what that is. Is that like energy trying to get through from the base chakra to the head, or is my connection to the matrix getting loose? Just wondering what that is.
I'm trying to be funny, but I'm trying to give you a serious answer at the same time.
I'm not telling you, I'm a comedian. If you're serious, I'll probably laugh.
It's cancer. I'm kidding.
Yeah, again. We had this conversation last lifetime.
Yeah, last lifetime. Really what's going on is you're just becoming very sensitive to the energies, and when you start feeling it in the back of your head, it's something that you're oversensitive to the area.
Okay,
I've been dealing with a lot of people coming in and out of your life relationship wise, and there's a bit of a vacuum there.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just a vacuum there, and you're over sensitive to the missing of the aspect that's there. That's not there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. I just remember I had a joke when I was going to be called on. It was like first time caller, long time caller, first time listener. I've used that occasionally when I call into places. Just share very quickly with you, Andrew. I've started a YouTube channel. I've finally succumbed to actually doing a podcast and everything else like that, because I think you've mentioned I should do it, and about three
Absolutely.
other people, and then finally, like, all right then, because
I'll come on your show. I'll come on your show. I'll even co-host with you.
Oh, yep. Well, it's at the moment, because my YouTube channel, I've got 15 subscribers, which at the moment is awesome, but in the long term, a bit small. However, it's just building the channel up, and I've been putting my roundtables from Revolution Radio up as well, and that's slowly growing by putting in the title what we're talking about. Which, strangely enough, the last one, Planet Colony, Revolution Radio, Wednesdays at 2 a.m. Just slide that in there. We were talking about the coronavirus, obviously. And so, and you know how Revolution Radio roundtables like to game things out. The title of the video is From Coronavirus to Economic Collapse ? So usually with the roundtables, it's a what if scenario, and we sort of explore timelines in that respect. What are you seeing because I did see your report about a month ago saying that the forced evolution of the planet, and if it gets to a certain number, technology will be released and there'll be sort of a game changer for the narrative on the globe. What's sort of coming out now, I see, is that it's fake, or something's off with the whole thing. So I'll stop there. And
there's something big off. They're still trying to control the narrative. They're still trying to restart the economy. They're still trying to think that humanity can outcreate the virus. Each person is their own God creator. And the system we're in is a bunch of God creators working, adding to a hologram that we all sort of believe in, and a bunch of shared reality rules. And they're trying to trick everyone into getting the coronavirus to go away and to put itself on other timelines. At the same time, this virus is on other timelines. It actually like evolved on other timelines and made its way here as part of a karmic retribution process. Now, I have recorded, I don't know, about 15 hours with my producer Andre on the coronavirus, and I'm purposely waiting until the three phases of truth that goes through. We go for the first part of the first page of truth is there's those that are speaking the truth are ridiculed. The second phase is people are violently opposed it. And the third phase, it's, more self-evident. Until the ridicule and the violently opposed stages are done, which is what's going on now, I'm only saying what I think people are ready to hear. Now, what do I think they're ready to hear? That the economy is absolutely aghast. It is a Frankenstein's creation. I mean, they had a massive sell-off today, but Tesla stocks were still up 20%. All of the economics numbers are off. I mean, there's a giant parking lot of oil tankers outside of Singapore, never before seen in history. You can go to some of the maritime tracker networks that'll tell you where all the big oil tankers are, all the big cruise ships and everything, and you'll see this giant parking lot in South Asia. Giant ship parking lot. Okay, we're talking the global supply chain is within days of a complete and total breakdown. Yet no one wants to say anything.
That's the blockage because China's shut up shop.
Not just shut up shop. The service companies to the shipping industries, like Singapore, is a giant place for ships to go and get refurbished.
Yeah.
Like everything, every aspect of the supply chain via ocean or air is reaching absolute freezer status, or what we'll use a better scientific term, absolute zero.
Yep.
Okay. Apple tried to get 100 stores restarted in China, and they've basically all the big guys agree the first quarter is completely lost. But like your sports team who's down 40 points with 2 minutes left, they still think they can win.
Yeah. No, well, that's the economy's always like, they've lost 8% of whatever, and that could crash the market. Like how
it already has crushed the market.
Yeah, but I found it fascinating that they run these systems at very minimum leeway, where 2% could mean disaster type thing instead of having a buffer. That someone sneezes in Hong Kong and Wall Street collapses type thing. That's
because they let companies they let companies leverage 400 and 500 times their companies in total income.
Yeah, so
they don't do margin calls daily like they used to. If they did margin calls daily and they actually had a government that was enforcing the rules, it would be a somewhat equivalent economy that said, hey, we have some straight shooters here. But right now the algorithms are doing all the buying and the selling.
Okay, so will this expose the corruption in the system across everything? Like the media keeps flip-flop, you know what I mean? Like today the sky is blue, and then tomorrow it's purple, and then the next day, it's back to blue again. You know what I mean? It's the stupidity of all of it is being exposed, and that will sort of wake people up in a certain aspect.
The answer is yes. But back in January 20th, when they first announced the quarantine in China, I had a private conversation with Andre, knowing that the virus was doubling every 4 days and it's going through a gigantic expansion. And on the 20th of January, so almost 20 days later, 26, 28 days later, we're at a scenario where they're still covering everything up, but now we're starting to see deaths, lots of more deaths outside of China. The numbers that are coming out of China are you have to do a factor of times 10. So if they're saying there's 2,000 deaths, there's really 20,000 deaths. If they're saying there's 80,000 cases, there's actually 800,000 cases.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's just in Wuhan. That's not the rest of the country.
Yeah, because like with being a comedian, you need imagination, and so that's why you can easily step into conspiracy world because it works the imagination. If you wanted to start a pandemic, either China would be better than India because the Chinese move around a bit more.
No, the best place would have been if you're intending to kill the whole volume of the whole world of people.
Mm-hmm.
It would be Africa.
Personally, but yeah.
Be Africa.
Africa, okay.
Africa.
Yeah, because I just thought there'd be more moving, but Africa, I guess.
You'd kill the most amount fastest. There would be no sickness, no ability to recover from it, and then the rest of the countries wouldn't be able to react on time because it would always be a major epidemic everywhere throughout Africa.
Yeah. I was just going with China with the numbers. However, as you mentioned with Africa,
there's no way to stop it. There's no infrastructure. China has an infrastructure to stop it. That's why you see 760 million people under quarantine.
Yeah,
it's 10% of the world.
I know 1 in 7 people are locked in a room. That's so Chinese.
Yes,
because I mentioned on the show, I think I said because the Chinese government aren't really forthright with information, and someone else said that's probably the most understatement comment about the Chinese government. It's like,
but their propaganda is backfiring on them now. Hardcore backfiring on them. They cannot use, 1950 style propaganda and think modern people are going to accept it.
Yeah, because it seems like I call them Team Dark or Team Bob, whatever. Them.
Team Hunan Chicken.
Yeah, there you go. They're using a playbook from the 1950s or even 300 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and because we're getting used to it, like when a false flag happens, less than 24 hours. Half of it's being dismantled by the alternative media. Then the other half sort of made up. But you know what I mean? It's people are seeing the pattern because they keep using the same formula. No, apparently, go ahead.
See, the thing is, the alternative community doesn't know the truth. It really doesn't. It doesn't know the truth. Do they break a lot of scenarios down? Yes, they do. But that's part of that fantasy football league we're going to call fantasy conspiracy league whenever there's a big disaster that goes on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All the conspiracy theorists are trying to figure out who's going to be what, and it's just a fantasy league of people trying to figure things out. Do you remember back in 2015 the giant explosion in the big town of Tianjin?
I remember the one in Texas, but yes, I think I do.
That's the one where a nuclear bomb went off and it was done by the United States because that was the center of Chinese hacking was done there.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay. Now,
so is that the secret war type thing?
That's part of the secret war, but that was a year 5 different nuclear bombs went off and no one reported it, not even the conspiracy community till many years later.
Yeah.
Okay, not even till years later. Ukraine, there were at least 5 different nuclear weapons that were used. None of the conspiracy guys were talking about that.
No, this is where on the controlled opposition, blah blah blah. That's why I just go in sort of blind and ask questions. I never sort of put forward, this is what happened. It's like, I wonder if this happened, and let people figure it out for themselves.
They don't figure it out though.
No, I know, but
they don't figure it out.
Yeah.
So is conspiracy successful? Absolutely it is. It's just not successful in the way it wants to be.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, most of my guests were positive, and in basic language, we win. We have no idea how to get from A to B. We don't know what's happening, and that's what I find fascinating. In a way, we're moving forward. At the same time, I feel like we're stuck in a loop.
Yeah, regurgitation. Like
I've noticed that.
Food back to the nest, regurgitating the same thing over and over and over again.
Yep. Sometimes I bring up 9/11 for something new.
Exactly, something new. Like we haven't picked that apart for the last 17 years.
No, there was buildings, right? Okay, yeah.
What about Building 27? No one's talked about that one yet.
And there was a building in Jersey that did nothing. What's going on there?
Exactly.
That's sort of it's, I guess, from your perspective, because you've got that connection to the Akashic Records, you can skip to the end and go, oh, that's how it ends. But for people that come on my show, we can't see behind the curtain. And I sort of I try not to get into fights, but it's hard to share the idea of like, we don't know everything. And there's an element of divine intervention, if I can use that term.
What if I told you everything was in front of the curtain, and the biggest conspiracy of all, there's something behind the curtain? Let's just play with that. Let's conspiracize theories with it a minute.
Yeah, okay. Because we're not seeing the broader view of what's in front of the curtain then, or we're got a perception filter on, been watching way too much Doctor Who, and we think because we see the truth in front of us, we have to go, oh, that's not real, so we have to create something. We have to have the wizard behind the curtain.
And the humans like to fill in the blanks when they don't understand something. And if everything's in front of the curtain, they're not lying to you at a grander karmic retribution scale. If we gave you it all, technically, absolutely nothing in conspiracy community or UFO community has come out in the last 15 years. Nothing new. We've known time travel. We've known lizard baby raping, all that stuff. We've known about it. Everything is out in the front. Just no one's doing anything about it.
Yeah, I notice it's just creeping into the mainstream. Like it's other people are like, wow,
but it really isn't. The mainstream is fracturing and bringing some of its audience members to alternative media. But a lot of those people, it takes a while for them to get used to, the lingo of conspiracy and how easily we can connect to something that happened at 9/11, to something that happened here, to something that happened here, and show pattern recognition, and them not going, what the hell are you talking about? Because they never did the research, or they never listened to the shows where somebody laid it out to you and it's blatantly obvious with the evidence they were able to get.
That I just thought of a question. I've put forward a theory that people like the alternative, not all the alternative media, but some part of the alternative media, because we've taken, 5, 10, 15, even some people like 20 years of waking up and going through all the research and getting to this point. If there's an event and disclosure is like in one day, people like ourselves will be there to sort of do a bit of therapy from everyone, because they'll go from 0 to 100 in 6.7 seconds. Was that going to happen, or
you couldn't disclose in one day? Thing first, you couldn't disclose in one day. First thing you have to do is remember how mainstream news is. Nothing's really longer than a 90-second piece.
Yeah.
So disclosure will come to you at 90-second intervals. If you are going to let news media tell you about it. And in fact, it's not its own self-generating stories where people like you and me and the other people that are out there that have thousands of videos will get up and go live and watch this video about this 90-second blurb they're going to talk about. Don't believe half of that 90 seconds. Okay? Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of people who just won't accept disclosure. They're like, nah. They won't be able to. They will literally be in full reality rejection.
Yeah, I mean, this is where comedy would work, because I can just see on the news today the president met with Palladians. Coming up next, is this cat yours?
Exactly.
What? Go back. The president met
who? Good story. Fireman rescues cat instead of president talking to Palladians versus feel good story. They're going to watch the feel good story.
Oh yeah. So, because it's going to be slow. But from what I was, I think, gleaming at is that the general public, they can't do it all at once straight away, because their paradigm shift would be massive. However, on the other side, I think a lot of people sort of know this stuff. They don't believe it now, but they'll come to a slow realization. I don't know. Once again, this is where I'm coming into, like, something's going to happen. I sound like a bad psychic. Something's going to happen somewhere. Come back tomorrow.
Just wait till tomorrow, but buy my shit.
Please buy a t-shirt on the way out.
So then there's the other side. Then there's going to be people drunk on the awakening. A lot of the conspiracy theorists, they're going to be drunk and they're going to be running around the streets going, I told you. Guess
Actually
what?
drunk, or just drunk on the energy of being right?
Both.
Both? Yeah, both.
Because suddenly they're going to want friends to talk to, and they're not going to be able to be hermits, because half this conspiracy theory people are full-on hermits with only internet friends.
Yeah, you mean we have to leave the house? How dare you?
Yeah. You think you're going to do the whole awakening and disclosure all inside your home? No, you're suddenly going to get motion in those feet that haven't moved in a year.
I'm not going out there. It's all peoply.
Exactly. But there might be people or aliens. Wait, they just exposed everything.
Yeah, because I had an image of like the sky is full of floating ships and different types, like from Star Trek to glowing orbs.
Yeah, pizza
Someone
delivery.
looks up at it. Yeah, they look up and go, "Oh, I don't believe it," until they walk into their house and see it on television.
Pretty much. Or
Yeah.
your pizza that gets delivered by a Palladian orb.
What
That'd be a way to do the awakening. Everybody gets food delivered by a different alien.
Yeah.
Who'd eat it? And what do you tip them? Yeah, and then what do you tip them? Babylonian money magic curse?
Here's your debt notes. I don't.
Here's your debt notes. Exactly. Welcome to the club.
Yeah. I've got a great joke about going from 5D, going into 5D. The first thing that happens when you go into 5D is you're handed a 6D bus pass. And what?
Oh,
you
that's
spend
good.
like half of eternity going, why did he give me a bus pass?
So you can transit the dimensions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's late.
As you're collecting debt notes from all the different densities.
Yeah, why are you handing me a pizza and a cap?
Because you're in service to Galactic Dominoes.
Just dial 113 on your heart and we'll deliver it before you know.
Yes, we'll deliver to you in time.
See, jokes that have layers.
Exactly. Many layered jokes. All right, so I talked about the conspiracy people drunk on power. So what about all of the major mainstream newscasters, like the people on the three big networks? What are they going to do? They're going to be seeing an awakening going, because we're talking like, let's say whoever the big newscasters are, like the big CNBC guys or Jim Cramer that talks money matters. What's he going to be doing? Going long on the awakening? Selling stocks? The fuck?
Go buy big in toilet paper because everyone's
buy big in toilet because there'll be a lot of shit flying. Yes.
And get out of Citibank and get out of all the financial
Okay. What about all the what about the sports guys? All the sports people. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, go watch LeBron James score 20 points versus watching The Great Awakening. No, those sports guys. You think they're gonna want to continue? Yeah, they want to get the next Nike ad next to an alien.
Yeah, I can do a 3-pointer from 50 feet. Well, I can explode into a ball and float.
Right.
So.
I want Nike shoes, Jordan shoes on the next Palladian. That's what they're going to be thinking.
Oh, the aliens with endorsements. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
When you're flying to Orion, you should fly Palladian Airways.
Yes, we take care of you the right way.
We have for billions of years.
So,
well, actually, with the news anchors, they may be humbling, or some may actually break out, or they'll go, as you said, there'll be complete denial.
Who takes their place? It's not a trusted face up there anymore. Somebody's going to have to step up.
And well, would they turn to other YouTube channels? Because that's what's sort of happening now with the mainstream. And here's a question: would Google, YouTube, and Facebook, would they shut down for a day or two, or will they allow it to unfold?
Good question. Good question.
Maybe.
It all depends on what the first 90-second disclosure is about, isn't it? Are they here to attack us? Are they here to fuck us? Are they here to mate with us? What?
Yeah.
Are they here to trade dollars with us because their economy's crashed too?
Well, yeah, Jesus turns up on the front lawn of the White House, and I'm sure it'll be a legal immigrant breaks through customs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trump will throw him in a detention center, and they'll die. Jesus dies in the detention center. All right, there you go.
Again.
Again.
Dad, this is getting monotonous. It'd be fascinating to see how it does unfold, because they're always fear-based, where with the coronavirus, I heard a story that they found another way of detecting the virus using X-rays, because it can work on the lungs and start changing like scars or something like that. But the news didn't say that. Yeah, the news just said there's 60,000 more cases. but they didn't say up. They didn't finish the sentence, which was, and now they're cured because they caught it early enough. All they just put out is another 60,000. So here's a question for you. Is the media ramping up the fear is that part of the controlling element to have the media to pump fear so people stay in survival mode and is more susceptible to control?
The answer is absolutely yes. But they're not even giving you accurate numbers to be fearful about because they're still trying to save the economy with the same fear things that they're putting out. They're just trying to fuck with conspiracy community, and the people who are not in conspiracy community aren't in too much fear about it.
Yeah.
It's two-pronged attack. Right.
Yeah. Reminds me of the Bill Hicks thing where if you watch, this is like 1990 that he wrote the material. If you watch CNN for 12 hours a day, I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend watching CNN at all now. But he was saying that like you watch it, it's war, famine, AIDS, death, destruction, war, famine, AIDS, death, destruction. Then you go outside and it's a clear blue day and your neighbors are waving at you. It's like, where is all this shit happening? And that's sort of, I don't know if it's my bubble, but I leave the house and apart from petrol or gas prices going up and down over 2 to 3 weeks, everything's kind of normal. It's just prices slowly inch forward. It's a fascinating thing where the world's going to end in 12 years, but they said that in 1990.
Well, they've been saying the world's going to end every year for the last 200 years.
Yes, I've seen that meme of if you make 9 end of the worlds, you get your 10th one free.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and it's
there are so like I know I'm going to knock on David Wilcock and Corey Goodyear for a second, but as long as they're saying it's going to happen tomorrow, wait for my next report, you've already failed at trying to be a global teacher. You can't say wait for tomorrow, it's going to happen tomorrow. So you won't do nothing because you're waiting for tomorrow. Yeah. As long as you're using that, you are using the same techniques as domination and control. Okay, all David and Corey got to do is change their marketing, and their material could be a lot more palatable to a lot more people. But since neither of them have ever taken a marketing course and followed through with it and actually think of a true marketing plan, then again, they're going to keep falling victim to what they need to do to keep a daily audience.
Yeah. I just remembered a meme that I shared where it was like 2012, the world's going to end. 2020, are we going to do this or what? Because it's like, really, it's been 8 years. For the love of that's sort of the frustration that I have. Like, I know I'm in a better place. I'm moving forward. However, it's a collective thing, isn't it? Like it's individual and collective at the same time.
That's individual first. Collective comes much later. Okay, but that's the biggest lie in all of spirituality, all of the spiritual communities. It's a collective awakening, and we do it all together. No, everyone is not equal in this reality. A lot of people who got to do a lot of inner work before they could even have any form of responsibility to being a part of a collective.
I've got one motto, which is save yourself, save the world. I actually got that from, you remember that TV show Heroes?
Yes. Save yourself, save the world. Yes.
Yeah, save the cheerleader, save the world. I just changed, you're the cheerleader, dear listener. And that's sort of where, like now I don't have to wake people up. I'm here to make people have woken up laugh type deal. And so, but that's sort of where I'm working from, just trying to make sure being the better me and it's just, because I know we win. I don't know if that's the right language. It's just funny watching it. Like, I know you said it will turn into a Three Stooges sketch.
Yeah, it already is a full-on Three Stooges event.
I should change it to a Monty Python sketch because it's just getting so fast.
Or Blackadder or something like Blackadder, Monty Python have an offspring.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yes. So. It's a multicultural thing going on right now.
Yeah. And especially, also here in Australia, we've got the whole climate change thing where, because we're on fire for 3 months.
And then flood.
Yeah. Someone's been reading the Bible and go, this is a great script. Okay, people, let's get together. We'll light on fire and then flood. And I think that's just the weather. And
then Africa's covered in locusts. Plague in China.
And it's
plagues in China. Yeah.
And the Democrats are having debate. So it's all biblical.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and so it's. I mean, I'm sort of in the between. There's the people say there's a climate change hoax, which is more of the carbon man-made side of it. Whereas, I mean, I'm in the middle where climate change is natural. However, let's stop pollution and we can still move forward. But yeah, I'm because you said to me I should just observe and not pick a side, and I've picked my own side in that respect. And it's very hard.
Pick your big good advice. Pick your own side over anybody else's.
Yeah, like on Twitter, I've got a pinned tweet. Whereas, love everybody, respect everything, do no harm, but don't take any crap. The fourth line is needed, because if you say, you know, do no harm, like I've had people say, I would say love is the answer, and then someone countered that with, well, what if a man's punching you repeatedly in the face? Well, I would love him to stop doing that. So,
I would love him enough to. I'd love him enough to whack him one so he'd stop.
Yeah, so, you know, even Gandhi
I'd love him enough to teach him a lesson. How's that?
Yeah, welcome to the College of Earth.
All right, school of hard knocks.
Yeah, yeah, and if you stop that, sir, whack.
Exactly. Here's your hard knock back. I learned a little bit being on Earth.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 7 or 8. Turn the other cheek. Remember, you've only got 4 cheeks, so at some point you can defend yourself.
Right. On the 5th time, defend yourself.
Yeah, it's like, for the love. Like,
You're not going to stop after 4.
Yeah, try it with Amish, or even those guards that at Buckingham Palace. Everyone has a breaking point.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's just feeling weird, but I'm glad I had a chat with you, so I feel better about things now.
Well, comedy always is a better way of teaching people about the world. You're asking before about disclosure. Disclosure is individual to everyone. Like,
yeah,
our community here is ready for a lot more, but there's a couple other communities who are not ready for, let's just say, the 5 major religions have been lying to you for 2,000 years.
Yes. Well, here's a question. Is it totally, are we fully remembering? Are we learning? Or is it a bit of both? Because
all of the above, but you cannot be focused on mainstream media to trigger you into remembering. Remembering is something that happens before disclosure. Disclosure is just a tipping point in which they're still trying to maintain control.
Yeah.
Okay, they're going to dole the information out to you instead of you getting it into yourself on your own without the medium of media.
Yeah, yeah. Because from my perspective, I've stopped worrying about trying to remember, because if we're going into something new, I don't need to remember everything 100%. Like, you know, in Lemuria in September, I tripped over a rock. It's more of like, oh, Lemuria was here, but we're going somewhere new, and you know, it's fluctuating between both.
Nor do you need to know about the Lemurian presidential debates, okay? Or any of that stuff that may have been a part of history, but you just need to know the overview. They lost.
Yeah.
That's it. They lost. And that was a few million years ago. After they lost, somebody else came in and won. Those guys lost. Somebody else came in and won. And it's this back and forth of who's winning and who's losing. And that's what our worlds have been about.
Yeah, and I guess at the end of experiment, if you want, when we have the ability to go into the Akashic Records ourselves, we can know all that anyway, because we can go to the shelf, pick up a book, if I'm using the right symbolism, and like, you know, Lemuria, the early years, and you can go, oh, okay, yeah, oh, Zodon was a bastard, fair enough. You don't need to, we'll learn that when...
It'll be an individual thing in which you get to go and freely explore based off of your inspiration, motivation, and desire to know.
Yeah, because
in the moment, you won't be watching History Channel specials done for you.
You know, you don't need to go with the hair going aliens all the time,
right? Or you don't have the History Channel voice guide. Tonight we're going to be talking about Lemuria
and Mu.
Exactly. Yes. Archaeologists in modern worlds never talked about Lemuria, but now direct from the Akashic Records are our Akashic Record archaeologists.
Okay, what we need to do, right? Let's start off with archaeologists are thieving bastards, all right? Yeah.
Exactly. They're just a bunch of guys with no jobs getting money from rich people.
Yeah, time is time is not the essence. They'll just wait 12,000 years and then steal it from a tomb.
Exactly. And then actually say completely everything wrong about the tomb in the first place.
So from now on, we should call museums evidence rooms.
That's a good start. More,
Yeah.
more like a better thing than evidence. Self-evidence rooms. Self-evident truth to whoever's looking at it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
It's museums are evidence rooms. That's good.
Yeah. Well, you walk in, it's like this was stolen from. This was stolen from. Oh, there's a good meme on Facebook at the moment where they've got 2 photos of the pyramids. History Channel during the day, the pyramids are tombs. History Channel during the night, and they're flying alien fortresses. And the bottom photo is the pyramid flying with like in Stargate. And it's interesting, like during the day, tombs, during the night, alien spacecraft. But that's the History Channel for you.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
So to continue the thing on, what's truth's going to come out. Well, the 5 major religions haven't been telling you the truth. What else? Science, physics, they also haven't been telling you the truth. Everything science and physics do, and 90% of what it's doing is just theory. Wait, we've based our whole belief reality on theory, and it's not proved? So religions lied to us. Science has only been given us theory. And then the philosophers who don't actually practice what they teach have illuminated us with what we're supposed to believe.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to pay money to get into the Karl Marx Museum, which is slightly amusing.
Yes, it's like Jews for Jesus.
Yeah. It's, well, the idea is because of being co-creators, the idea of gravity, does that keep us grounded in a bad way? Like we should be able, I've joked, and it comes from a good place in my heart. I want to learn to fly again, like to levitate. And even through science, you can, if I've got a magnetic field going through me, I should be able to figure out how to use that magnetic field myself and float.
Correct. Or you just need a temporary technological medium that can help retrain you how to manipulate your own magnetic field, or to go into an area where the magnetic field is much more tuned with consciousness, such as the Schumann resonance, which you were first talking about in the very beginning when you called in. The Schumann resonance directly relates to electromagnetic frequencies and then how consciousness can interact with it.
Yeah, because humans are like that, where I use the example of the 4-minute mile, where up until Roger Bannister broke 4 minutes to run a mile in 4 minutes, they said it could never be done. Bannister actually did it. He ran, I think, 3 minutes, 58 seconds. And ever since then, I think that was the 50s, around about mid 50s. Ever since then, everyone's done it because they've seen someone do it. And so, if Jesus comes back, you'll probably, in about 3 weeks after he does come back, you'll probably see a lot of people being Jesus, because humans, if they see someone else can do it, well, I can do that. And it sort of expands from there. Mm-hmm. Not Jesus, but you know what I mean. It could be Muhammad.
If somebody goes and walks on the water, everyone else is going to be walking on the water?
Eventually. It depends on they have to do their inner work and its belief.
See, this is where the internet, when it's uncontrolled, will truly make viral videos of how great human beings can be again. So instead of MAGA, it's Maha, make humans great again.
Well, did you see that there's footage of an 8-year-old girl in Russia who was levitating, and people were wondering, is it true? Is she on wires? And
I know what video you're talking about. There's 2 videos, one that's fake and one that's real. And the fake one was purposely put out because, oh shit, there's a real video of somebody floating and levitating.
Well, it's good. Well, at least one's true and one's not, so it's 50-50 chance. But the idea is still out there, so that's throwing a seed into the subconscious.
Right. First thing, so there's thousands of truly mystical videos that are online, and people you could just tell. And then there are the ones that are in pure doubt. again, if only 1% of them are real, there's still tens of thousands of videos out there that prove it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay, there's plenty of pictures of ghost lava. There's plenty of Bigfoot pictures, plenty, but it's not peer reviewed by the asshole scientists.
Oh yeah. It's like
The asshole scientist doesn't define my reality because they just run everything on theory.
And they need funding.
Right.
It's all about
my funding. Right. Yeah. Not my funding.
So yeah, remember, kids, you can buy a white coat and become a god.
Or just relabel yourself scientist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's I'm wearing a white coat, so you have to listen to me now. And
right.
My funding's got through for the next 12 months, so I'm going to Hawaii.
I'd say I'm God for the next 12 months.
My deity funding came in. Woo! So let's see.
That's good. My deity funding came in.
So let's see what happens when we inject cocaine into mice again for the 15th year in a row. It's just something like I remember someone wanted to do a comic about superheroes or supermen, and they're going to fight the system in the US, like the political system. And I thought they should do it from a sovereignty point of view, where these superheroes fill out forms and become free. Take this form, my friend.
Take this form and this form and that form. And I'm going to hit you with a 424 form.
And this has been stamped by a justice of the peace.
Right. Or some weird thing you've never heard from admiralty law. Admiralty law allows me to kick your ass right now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like from the round tables, they have like some people. The Constitution is bad and it's all communism, so we need to change the system. It's like, well, how are you going to do that? Because there's 330 million people in the United States alone, and they've got the thought form of they're free anyway. And if you want to go to just change a form, where like change the wording on the Constitution and then we're free. Well, what's changed apart from you've changed the wording on a piece of paper?
Nothing. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, it's more about ideas.
It's more about what's in law and what says to put you in jail or not.
Yeah, well, it's like I'm a sovereign being, and I've renounced my birth certificate. Stop hitting me! Oh, you've thrown me in the back of a car. Like the policeman doesn't care.
There's still a whole bunch of other laws that allow that cop to do that.
Yeah. And yeah, I just get tired. I'm tired a lot. Is that because of just a heavy lot of energy? Like I napped for about 3 hours yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Is it? I napped for 17.
Ooh, and I'm enjoying sleep as well. My weird dreams. The latest dream was I was in a room with Vince Vaughn for about 7 hours. Don't know why.
What were you doing?
I think he was a reformed murderer, and I was trying to talk to him or something, and there was the band Anthrax walked through. And there was a small Japanese girl who I think I was hitting on or not. And when I say girl, she's over age. Let's point that out. That's one. Another one was Danny from Unshackle the thing, or Unfuckers, and she was running a CD store in Los Angeles or something. So you probably can tune into what I was just. That's the latest one in the 24 hours. They're the two dreams that I can remember, and I find it interesting where I'm disappointed when I wake up now. It's like, oh, I'm here. Just the sleep's very enjoyable at the moment.
So when you have big bleed over dreams like that, a lot of times it has stuff to do that your subconscious is trying to resolve. And sometimes when the subconscious draws over, it may have actually just been like background information you weren't even know was in your background reality that bled through to your dream world in the world. And you're trying to, your brain's trying to resolve stuff through alpha awareness in a dream state.
Okay. Yeah. Because
here's an example. You ever fall asleep in front of the TV and then dream about what you're watching?
Yeah, sometimes.
A lot of times people fall asleep in front of the movie and then they dream that they're in the movie.
Yeah, yeah, I've had sort of dreams like that where it was not in front, not in the movie, but a very very lucid moment. It's like for a while there, when I get lucid in a dream, I would instantly know I'm dreaming and wake up. It was like,
Right.
oh, man. But one was I was hiding behind a small wall. It's in the middle, a concrete wall. It's in the middle of a battlefield. I'm wearing Jedi robes, holding a lightsaber, and I extend the length of the blade, and then I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, don't know if that's time travel or just a memory from way beyond, because it wasn't in the movie, if I put it that way.
Not all dreams mean something.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's the fun part about dreaming. That's the other part. Is it astral? Is it communication? Is it the subconscious working through stuff? Is it your own hologram, a holodeck?
Why do you have to know? Is there a deep need to know, or is it impulse? I need to know, and you don't have impulse control. Most people, it's impulse. It's impulse.
Yeah, it's a bit of mostly column A, a little bit of column B. There's an just knowing of like which is not fake, but which is sort of created by myself and what's past and everything else like that. Like, am I traveling through places? Like my friend Melissa, who can be awake while dreaming. Apparently, I take her on I make her physically ill because I just grab her by the hand and go, let's go down this wormhole. And I drag her across half the galaxy. I don't remember any of this Time Lord stuff, which, I'm waiting for that veil to either drop or I need to know the right thought form to unlock everything. Or
what do you actually, hold on, what do you actually need to know about the awakening that you don't already know that is enough context for you to awaken? Because I tend to say, you know everything enough to go through awakening. Everyone does. Well, it's all been given to you a long, long time ago.
Yeah. Am I just looking for something because it's simple?
It makes a better story.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Makes a better story.
A better way of saying stuff, yeah.
Okay. Because it still comes back down to individually you and your heart loving yourself enough to disconnect from the general theory of time, disconnect from the general theories of money, disconnect from the general theories of what connects us to a culture and society. Stuff we all know, and we can do it anytime.
Yeah.
Okay. Like and then when we get out of those moments, how do we stay disconnected? That is the blueprint to awakening yourself to the greater you. Yeah, so why isn't it stuck? Bad marketing. Yeah. Bad marketing.
And the tipping point of disconnecting and observing at the same time.
Yes, you being the disconnect, the unentangled observer and the entangled observer simultaneously without them competing against each other.
Yeah. There's an element of tiredness because we keep hoping for asteroid to come down. It's like, just do something, but it is doing. We are something.
Bad marketing. It's still bad marketing. Okay?
It's just bad marketing. Yeah.
Bad marketing. Okay. If we had some like real spiritual people who understand the fundamentals of marketing and the fundamentals of what real marketing meant, marketing techniques, and not just the woo-woo shit that comes out of their ass, you'd have a whole different awakening world.
Well, yeah, there's a reason that marketing kind of works because they've done the research to do it. So
right. They know what it takes to get people to get off their ass and do shit. Why do you think Apple's got people in line for every phone that comes out? God forbid anybody in the spiritual community had that capacity. Awakening would be here already. Right.
Look out. There's one of those people that saves people. Oh, I don't like them. It's not good for the economy.
Not good for the economy, exactly.
Yeah. I can't formulate, or I'm not supposed to formulate of how the change is going to happen. I know I'm here to watch it and be part of it. But
what if you're not supposed to be? What if you're not supposed to watch it? You're just supposed to keep creating and creating and creating and creating, and in fact, out creating all of the negative drama that's going to be a part of it. You think the awakening is going to be some fucking unicorn showing up and rainbows and fucking glitter coming everywhere? No, it's not. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah, well, that's why I can't see it. It's not like, once again, someone hands me a 6D bus pass. It's not going to be like that easy. He's like, oh, my bus pass. Oh, wow, okay. It's because the old
a bus pass with a face mask. Don't forget that.
Ooh, monogram. Oh, nice.
Yes. You're going to get a bus pass and a face mask. Okay? The awakening is going to be downright ugly. It is not going to be unicorns and butterflies and glitter coming out of everyone's ass.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we have to shed the density and
all the trauma. All the traumas, the individual traumas that everyone's got, and then the global trauma that everyone shares, and then the cultural traumas that groups of people share.
Yeah.
That's why you're supposed to own it up and heal it before the awakening. That's your responsibility to the awakening.
Well, yeah, that makes more sense because it's I'm trying to find a non-committal word. It's interesting going through the work. It's not bad. Or challenge. It's just interesting to work through all that trauma. And sometimes I guess I try a little bit too hard and think I'm this sort of happened to me in the last 4 or 5 months where I'm fine, and then something smacked me in the back of the head. It's like, oh, I'm not that fine. And I think you referred to it as like the spiritual ego. It's like, I'm so awesome, and then you fall over on your face. Yeah, like, ow!
I'm so awesome, and then you hit your toe and bust it open.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that humility and balance was like, and so remembering that you don't know everything, and I think it's that impulse drive. I'd like to know. It's like watching a TV show. You binge watch it because you want to know how it ends.
Right. Binge watch it because you want to know how it ends. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that with the Great Awakening.
Yeah, which is a good thing because you'll miss a lot.
Yes.
Wait. We're blue now? What?
Right, exactly. So I don't want to keep picking on the Christians. So I'm gonna pick on one of the other 5 religions, say the Muslims for a second. So let's say suddenly there's the 90-second disclosure, shit's going on, the world isn't telling you the truth, wait till the news till tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you think they're gonna react? They haven't been told the same truth that the rest of the 5 major religions have. Well, they're going to realize that everything's not glitter, unicorns, butterflies, and glitter. They're not going to get their 72 virgins for those that believe in that part.
Yeah, like the hardcore ones that have to face Mecca 6 times a day and pray to Allah, who was great, and then find out that he was
an alien. Right, Allah was an alien. Or Muhammad was an alien. What if Muhammad comes out of the ship and he's DNA linked? There's DNA evidence says, I'm Muhammad. Aren't you not supposed to have any engraven images? Muhammad's not supposed to be shown in any images. What are they going to do? Kill him?
Yeah. There's a good question. What happens when Muhammad turns up? It's like, you're the image of yourself. You have to be put to death now. How hardcore do you get?
Okay. There's a series out on Netflix called Messiah. Have you heard about that?
Yes. I think you were talking to Andre about it. You binge watched it, so it's on my list of things to watch. So
absolutely great show to watch. Great. I binged that in a day. And I don't want to give anything away. Better yet, but there's some really cool scenes in there. Okay, so let's talk about another religion, like the Buddhists. Okay.
Yeah, which is technically a philosophy, but it comes across as a religion. So they're being lied to as well, or like what's the change there?
Well, if Buddha comes down and goes, why didn't you head of the Buddhist religions give him the rest of the teachings?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck, dude? I left him all for you, and you kept him for yourself? What?
Yeah, it's like the Masons. Oh, we're saving it for humanity. It's been 5,000 years.
Right.
Maybe you're the problem. Geometry. It's just friggin' maths.
Right. You could have woke up everybody up thousands of years ago if you just gave them the rest of the teachings.
Yeah, little things like,
I wrote it all down for you guys.
It's not a Joseph Smith debacle. They're still here. Yeah, I don't know if the person that is called Jesus or Yeshua, or which I like, that's comedic to me. Is like you're Christ. You mean Jesus? Yes, you are. Or you? Yes, you are. I don't know if he's ever coming back, but if he does, that will be a field day. No, you're wrong. No,
I
you're
have to
wrong.
say something. This is a what if. This is a polarized what if. What if there was never a Jesus, and 400 years later they completely made the story up?
That would explain all all the problems with the history and the stories and
right. There was never one. There was a bunch of different prophets that they all just named Jesus.
Yeah, or Jesus.
And there was nobody on the cross at that time.
Yeah, what is the collective noun of Jesus? Jesus,
Jesus, or Jesus's.
Yeah, Jesus's. Or Zeus. So, because my perspective of Jesus is a great, cool story and a great example if you look at it the right way. The whole loving everybody and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you don't have to go to church for an hour a day and try and pick up the tab with God. Just look, I went to church every 7 days. That's nice, but you used to kill small animals. You freak.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take away from the five. Let's talk about science now. So all those atheists that follow science, how fucked up is their world going to be during the awakening and the 90-second display of disclosure?
Well, I'll add to that. Instead of realizing there is the Great Spirit or the Prime Creator, they'll instantly believe, wait, the five religions were right. And at that same moment, the five religions are going, we're all wrong. So the atheists are going to freak out because, they're the sixth religions. I can turn to for the love of.
Okay.
That's
gold right there. That's gold right there. Okay. Yeah. Because they're both right and wrong. Yeah.
Well, I sometimes not go around telling people that I'm an atheist because I don't believe the Jehovah of the Bible. I'm a fractal of the Prime Creator. You can see why I don't get invited to tea parties that often. I'm the fractal. Someone actually said, so what do you believe? It was on Revolution Radio. So what do you believe? I believe that I'm a fractal of the Prime Creator experiencing myself subjectively. And there was silence for about 20 seconds because it's like, well, couldn't you just say you're Christian or something?
No, I do not identify with that.
No.
I will not conform to what you tell me to conform to.
I don't eat fish, but I'll drink the wine.
Exactly. So back to ye old scientists that are atheists.
How would they've got when you said science, my brain went to flat Earth.
Yeah.
Those people will either freak because from my perspective, the flat Earth idea is an overlay over the original one because we live in a hologram, which I'm finding it interesting trying to find the right language of expressing where it crosses the board. So, because I'm tired of being yelled at, you're a globaler, and it's like, yeah, but if we live in a hologram and it's a placebo effect, and you see what you believe, who gives a flying fax machine? So, when the science, I mean, if you got the flat earthers probably go, oh look, we're awesome, and then they'll be in the same level as the atheists and the other scientists and everything else, won't they?
Right. All the freight trains of people's belief will crash into other, and there'll be a sudden head slap moment going, everybody is true. And as long as they judge them to be untrue, I am not a creator God. Can people individually as a creator God ever accept that everyone else is their own form of truth?
Yes, thank you. Because
there are the fundamental laws of the galaxy in which truths and untruths are based upon. Yeah. And then there are fundamental laws of other galaxies that sometimes apply here and sometimes don't apply here.
Well, let's try and explain. We are the center of our universes, and you're the center of your universe. And through the joy of creation, we interact and we can learn and experience each other. and it's part of the kaleidoscope of reality. And most
until
people
we
don't know
suddenly
it.
don't make ourselves the center of our own universe, because that's what humanity is right now. We took the center of our own universe out and replaced it with taxes and hourly wages and sovereignty and all this other shit.
Yeah, which I find amusing with my my YouTube channel. Actually getting government assistance to start my own business. Perfect. This is so comedic for me. I'm like, it's the end of the world, so I'll start a business like everyone else. Oh boy. But maybe I've been ignoring it way too much. So basically, you get science, religion, government, like all the systems that we've had. That it's all going to collapse, or they'll go into freak mode, won't they?
So all the big media guys are going to be scapegoating everyone. Because they don't. The media is going to just be like the seventh religion. Okay.
Yep. Well,
they're the ones that are going to be scapegoating everyone else. It's not my fault. I just report what they told me to do.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll handball their responsibility.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. They're going to be the scapegoat artists. They're going to figure out who's the scapegoat in the Christian, who's the scapegoat in the Buddhist, who's the scapegoat in the science people.
What's the advertising industry going to do?
Big one. Nike's going to want the Pleiadians to wear their shoes, and the Pleiadians are going to, I don't want to wear your shoes. They suck. Made by slave labor.
I float. I don't touch the ground. Why would I wear shoes? It's like today, today a young man on acid realized we're a slow vibration experiencing that Bill Hicks routine.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm waiting for people with the Mandela effect. Will we start seeing our own personal dream time expand?
Yes.
Or come in.
Yes.
And so will forest appear out of nowhere? Will dead people come back? Because is it collapsing of timelines, or is it just our personal dream time intermingling with everyone else, and the veil's sort of gone between the dimensions, or different?
All of that, plus the more you detoxify from the definitions of Roman numeral time and know that we're addicted to it since the day of our birth, and we go through a detoxification and we're going to be 5 months sober from Roman numeral time, we're going to have more access to the infinite dream worlds. Okay,
cool. That's, I think, why I was born in Nottingham to Australian parents, and then I've been living in Australia since, for nearly 46 years. And that's one thing with the Aboriginal culture, is the idea of dream time. I seem to connect to that, where, it's a great living color, the band lyric, everything is possible, but nothing is real. And that's sort of like, ooh, which means, I can, as Ralph Wiggum says in the Simpsons, sleep time, that's when I'm a pirate. And, I can do anything I want when, but we don't need that sleep. Will we, once the awakening, will the body need to sleep to re-energize, or whatever happens when we sleep? Because if we're in the dream time, we don't need to be in this physical waking time. Or is that disappearing, or is it blending in, or you can't say?
All of the above and more.
So anything is possible and nothing is real.
The more you give love to yourself during the crazy times, that's why it's so important to do it, to be really good at self-healing, self-nurturing, and self-love before the awakening, in the 90 seconds of disclosure, followed by the next 90 seconds, followed by the next 90 seconds. Okay? The disclosure is going to come at you in 90-second sound bites, and then everyone in all the communities are going to try to pick it apart until the next 90 seconds. And then everyone else is going to have their next 90 seconds, and then all the conspiracy theorist people are going to do their 2-hour roundtables.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's like going to be like a out of control freight train. Like 90 seconds, 90 seconds, 90 seconds, 90 seconds. Like, wait, go back 90 seconds. You said cheese is now sentient. And it's like, yeah, but we're here now where like there's a whole planet of cheese. And why did I pick cheese? I don't know. So it's going to move.
You have
quickly.
a past life as a cheeseateer.
Ooh, yes.
Okay? Or you were a block of cheese in a past life, because cheese is technically sentient.
Oh,
it really is. You can measure it. Just like bread, before you kill it and bake it.
I'm never going to grate cheese again. Then that's sick. That's serial killer level disgusting.
Yes.
Okay, so with the 90 seconds, is that because we've got a short attention span, and or it's going to turn into like a J curve? It's going to accelerate so quickly because of
the
just
90-second rule still comes from 1950s, giving you only 90 seconds is what they thought the education and attention level of humanity is.
Okay. Now, have we learnt to go to 90 seconds since the 50s?
No, we've been programmed to accept 90 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, we've been programmed. That's a better way of saying it. Yeah.
To accept it. Now, that's one of the reasons why long form radios, such as shows like this, have a lot more draw to it. Like Joe Rogan, love him or hate him, whatever it does, he does long form interviews and lets it all free flow, and he is not just somebody giving you 90-second talking points, because that's all the news is, 90-second talking points. At most, any one story can only go 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That's a rule.
Yeah, a half hour, and you've got ads, so it's probably down to 23 minutes. You've got weather and the feel-good story as well as sports. So it's probably 15 minutes of news. Right. And then they choose which stories get in. So I can see it being 60 to 90 seconds long.
Pretty much. Even on the 24-hour news stations, they're still only giving you 90 seconds before they go to a panel who each gets 90 seconds of their opinion.
Yeah. Bill Maher was actually on Joe Rogan, and he said something interesting where he found it interesting that Americans have the attention span of either 30 seconds or 3 hours.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's 30 seconds or 3 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, it's long. The long form, you can expand out, and the way I explain my roundtable is we take the safeties off and we follow down the rabbit hole and explore all avenues. And if we come to an end, is cheese sentient? No, it's not. It is. We've found out just there.
It is.
However, at least we've gone. When I say take the safeties off, you can ask questions that aren't sort of PC, but at least you get to the end and you cover all bases and you explore all avenues, and then you find out no. Don't get punched in the face repeatedly. That's bad. At least you've got to the end of finding it out. You can, well, what about if you turn your head, or, I can't find the right example, but you understand what I'm saying is where you have to, like a detective, look at all possibilities of outcomes and then find out what works and what doesn't. And that's why you need the long form, because you can't do that in 90 seconds.
You can't do that in 90 seconds. Exactly. And then you got to get an ad in.
Yeah.
You don't even give them a chance to download it. Here's your 90 seconds ad. Wait. You just were told the disclosure is happening, and you're going to fucking Nike ad.
Yeah. Just do it.
I want to talk about the 8th world religion. So the 6th and 7th were science and media.
Yep.
What's so the 8th? The 8th. Come on, let's think hard here.
What, geek culture? Popular culture?
Racism.
Racism. Yeah.
Race and culture. Racism and culture.
Yep.
So are there going to be people that are suddenly going to go, well, we're not all from the same DNA stock?
Are we going to realize we're all one, or
right.
Are they going to
or are we still going to go, I am the master race?
Yeah. I've been working an idea of the Fourth Reich down in the Antarctic. I'm going to do sort of some sketches where they keep looking at the world. It's like, no, Hans, I don't think we'll join them yet. Everyone's apparently a Nazi, and they are not Nazis.
Right. But we all have the same DNA. Yeah, there may be variants to us, but it's no different than having different color pants. Yeah. Because that's the truth that's going to come out of our interconnectivity to other star beings. Color is just like pants. And you'll learn that you can adjust your color, shape, and size at will.
Yes.
You just haven't been taught that.
Well, from what is there is human DNA, and there's a mixture. Like humanity as a whole, we're like a Mongol race, aren't we? We're a mixture of everything, and yet there's still
giant galactic mutts.
Yeah, but there's still a base level of, say, native Earth in there. So there's something that connects everyone, or we're all just mixtures, so we're all interconnected.
It's the mixture that created the interconnectivity.
Yeah, okay. So I may have Palladian and Arcturian, and you have Palladian Arcturian, but Sally has Arcturian and Nordic, or what, and so there isn't just like the human gene from the native people from the planet that is a base level.
There was no original native species.
Yeah, so we're a mixture of everything, and because so we're a mixture of everything, and which that's going to completely stuff up the racism then, because it's like, well, I hate blue people. Well, I'm part blue, but I love you. I know. So I think that's eventually they'll realize that they can't be racist because everyone is.
You got that in you too, exactly. It'd be like Jews joining Hitler's movement. Doesn't work. They're not going to let you in the group.
Yeah. You're Jewish. Why are you joining the youth? I hate Polish people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's even today, without all the starseed and the star alien DNA, just the different tribes. There's no one that's pure anymore. Maybe the Inuit or Eskimo, because no one wants to go up into the snow. But everyone is intermingled. Where like Barack Obama is the first black president, and yet he has a white mother. That's why I don't trust Barack. He's half white. So, it'll be interesting to see how everyone. Yeah. So racism and culture
and government. It's all they're all going to mix into one.
Yeah, because what's going to happen to the SJW woke people, because they can't call everyone racist or Nazis because they won't know who is what, because how they need representation in movies and films. Wow.
So the whole SJW crowd is going to be suddenly silenced by the avalanche of people not giving a shit.
Yeah, well, they're attention.
Right.
Features, aren't they?
They're attention whores. A lot of them are attention whores, yeah.
Everyone look at me, I'm trying to save the black community. It's like, yeah, well, we're looking at the glowing orb, and 3 green guys came out of it, and they're 8 feet tall. So what are you going to do now, Sally?
Exactly. Sally, the social justice warrior. Look, you.
Because like coming from the entertainment industry, wokedom, it's slowly disappearing now because people are tired of it. It's just very restrictive. It's like, how Antifa are anti-fascists, but they act like fascists. They've become the monsters that they're fighting idea. And so, yeah. So they'll be into wokedom. Can you share, like, when the awakening happens, whenever it does globally as a collective, when will it die down? Like, would it take 12 months in Roman time, or however you want to like, there's going to be a shock and acceptance. Is it going to be like the 7 stages of grief when all this happens? Because
there's going to be a whole lot of shit stained underwears for a lot of months. Because everyone's going to accept at their own pace.
Okay, yeah. Because I've said, like, extraterrestrials, they're not saving us, but they all have their own agenda, and humanity won't know its agenda because it's just been shocked into disclosure. So eventually we'll select, my joke is, oh, look at all these aliens. Wonderful to meet you. Great. Now piss off while we figure out what's going on. Because unless we remember everything, we're coming in fresh to learn, and,
I mean, what are you going to do with an Aussie drunk guy trying to deal with, the world's not what they've been told, or an American gangster, or a biker, or a narco guy from Mexico, who's going to still want to sell his drugs, because during the awakening, everyone's going to want their drugs.
Yeah, for that grounding experience.
Right, for that grounding experience.
Oh, well, a bit dark, but it is slightly humorous. What about those people that decide to drop body and suicide, and they just drop body and they're standing next to
A lot of them. That's gonna be a significant thing. That's why the 90 seconds that first comes out has to be disarming, alarming, relaxing, assuring, and informative.
I just realized I'm not going to do that. I'm not the one who's going to say the 90 seconds, but yeah, that's going to be intense, because a lot of people will think that their world is technically over, but they don't have to die, but they'll choose to drop body.
There'll be plenty of banksters banker guys that know the gig is up. We've been running a Ponzi scheme the whole time. There's ships in the sky. They're disclosing. Yep. I'm jumping out the building because I don't want to be lynched tomorrow.
Yeah, bankers, politicians, and the religion. Like, will the Vatican be stormed because of like?
Hell yeah! There's gonna be a lot of angry Catholics.
Yeah, apart from just the riches, because it's interesting. The Pope says we need to look after the poor. You're on a gold throne. Come on,
right? We're on a gold throne using gold leaf toilet paper, asshole.
Yeah, nice shoes. Oh, they're Nike. That's interesting. The nice little red ones. Right. But the information they hold in their vaults,
library,
their library, which is it's not the same as Alexander or Atlantis, but it's probably the modern day equivalent, isn't it? With the amount of knowledge and information that's kept, which once again goes into like the Buddhists and the Masons were talking about. It's like, we're saving this information for humanity. No, you're saving it from humanity. And that's why we can't move forward, because you still want to control everybody.
Right.
So, and all the control freaks are going to freak out because they can't control everyone.
Right. All the mid-level control freak managers are suddenly going to be out of a job.
Yeah. What, you mean I can go home and sit on the couch and meditate?
No, they're going to join the conspiracy podcast and be whistleblowers.
Yeah. A lot of whistleblowers. So basically the whole room will be whistleblowers, and we get one audience member to sit on stage and they all talk.
One conspiracy theorist and the rest whistleblowers.
Yeah. Daryl, take you. Oh, okay. Oh, Stephen, you worked with Daryl.
Pretty much.
We could do a theme park. Welcome to the conspiracy ride. Your 400 people are in there, so just 15 minutes to ask questions.
Okay, so we've talked about the 8th. There is a 9th and a 10th. Ooh. World religion.
Well, someone in the chat mentioned health. Is that part of just the awakening, or can health turn into a religion?
It can, but it's money first.
So that would be more pharmaceutical, the big pharma element.
Well,
food. Yeah. Well,
it's probably it's not like number 13 or 14 on the numbers of religious things.
Well, hang on. Yeah. How many
money is the next one.
Okay, money. I was going to say, how many religions do you have? Do I have to get another cup of tea? This is going to go on for a while. So yeah, with money, what will that become backed by someone? Because I can see eventually we can go to the old Star Trek universe. The new one sucks, but the old one where we don't really need money because everything can be shared because money's being weaponized. Will they just, as a gradual shift, we'll get away from the central banks and go to say gold? So it's backed by something as a starting point.
It can't be backed by anything we've used before.
Okay.
It'll still represent the same disempowering journey that uses fractalization of the currency to create fiat currency. Right.
Yeah, money is just a exchange of energy, which that's sort of a principle of what happens in the universal galaxy, isn't it? There's sort of an energy exchange, but with money now they've weaponized it and they control people. So are we going to go to barter? Is everything free? What's going to how?
That's another 90-second. That's another 90-second news ad. That's well into the first week of disclosure.
Yeah, because
they got to have the happy story. Here's the Catholic guy accepting disclosure, shaking the Pope's hand. Thank you for holding on for 2,000 years. Bullshit. The guy's gonna punch the Pope.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know what I was watching, but someone said, "Do you think the Pope wants Jesus to turn up?" It's like, yeah, I'm the landlord. Thanks for looking after the house. You're not getting your bond back. Uh, oh wow, because like, there's obviously going to be sort of a form of debt forgiveness there with the money then, because that's one thing I find interesting on this planet. You can do anything illegal, genocide, blah blah blah, but you have to pay the money back. That's
Exactly.
the only one. That's the debt where they always have to. Like, if we owe all this money, to who?
Exactly. To who?
Yeah, who follow the money? Who's winning here? It's like, oh, there's going to be economic collapse because we're so much into debt. To who? And if it's everyone else, shouldn't you? Yeah.
When there's a realization that debt is false, the money system is false, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and the religion around money begins to fall apart.
You can have a lot of Wall Street people jumping out of windows.
A lot of Wall Streeters jumping out of windows. And hopefully there's going to be some love and lighter down there with a trampoline.
Yep. Yeah, because that's more fun instead of them killing themselves as they or a bungee jump. That's their punishment.
They got to survive. We want your ass to survive, banker.
Yeah. You'll be amazed what you can live through, which I got from an Aladdin film. Mm-hmm. Genies can't die, but you'd be amazed what you can live through. Oh dear. So with the collapse of that closing down sale, everything must go free. Which, yeah, this is why you can see the whole shift of thing. Like if we're up to is it the 9th religion or the 10th religion? I would hate to be the person writing these 90-second stories, because the knock-on effect of change just from those 90 seconds, like,
right, you get one word wrong, you're going to trigger a lot of people into a lot of really negative stuff.
Yes.
You think the Fox News guys are going to stay on news when the truth comes out? No. They're going to run. People string them up when the truth comes out. Same thing with MSNBC and CNN and all that. They're going to get strung up. People are going to be thinking about lynching them.
I wouldn't want to be a politician, because they'll be first, and then the media as well, because it'll be all interconnected. So You've got banks, politicians, the media, pharmaceutical companies or corporations. Like, it's a very long list of, because like some people, do you forgive them straight away? Should they be punished for what they've done and then forgive them, or
that's going to be on the very first one, on the very first 90-second thing. Their last 7 seconds are going to be, what do we do with all the crimes to humanity? News at 11. Yeah, and they're going to cut to commercial.
Yep. Be a chewing gum commercial,
right?
You need some bubble gum, or
here to or the Pope trying to tell you to come back to the religion, or something. I mean, like the Super Bowl of advertisements.
Yeah.
Who gets that spot right after the 90 seconds?
Well, yeah, because I'm against the death penalty. For me,
same here, against the death penalty.
Because you just free them from their body and they move up in a certain way. Now, they could be punished on the next level or something. However, if someone drops body, it should be, from my understanding, it should be their decision or divine order type thing. Like, I don't know. I'm digging a hole. But it's because if you kill someone, you're a murderer. Where does it end? One person that has to commit suicide because everyone else has killed everyone else. And if we're multi-dimensional beings, you're moving them on up. So just put them in a room. Actually, my idea is, that big plastic island in the middle of the North Pacific where all that the currents is. Yeah, you rope that all together, and then you put everyone from the cabal on that and film them, and it's sort of a Lord of the Flies type of Lord of the Flies deal. And we're comically fine, but they kill each other over sausages and loaf of bread. Maybe not, but
like all the top oligarchs and 1%ers.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Fire up their spaceships and try to leave during the disclosure?
See, it just the image of those Nazis on the South Pole with their guns going, look, another one. Ba-doom. Look, another
Exactly.
one. Ba-doom. Yeah, hence the quarantine.
And then are we going to have posses that are going to go after them around the galaxy? There's going to be some really upset people.
Yeah, because there was a reason why there was a quarantine, and they don't really want those type of people out in the galaxy continuing on the family business, put it one way. And it's going to be, well, because it's not going to happen all at once, but it will at the same time, won't it? Like, is it going to be like building momentum? Because there'll be people who are awakened and then sort of guide other people.
The next perfect TV show is going to be Galactic cops hunting down the traitors to humanity. It's going to be a Galactic Bad Boys song as a Pleiadian spaceship pulls over a smuggling ship with some 1%ers on it.
Yeah, he used to own a house in Connecticut, and here he is on Pluto. Yep. We've been trailing him for a while now. We got some information from Titan, and as you can see, look at him scared, and look at him cry.
We have all these whistleblowers on TV now. Telling the truth about what all these 1%ers did.
Oh, and this one time?
Exactly. And this one time?
We were at Bohemian Grove. Oh, the debauchery.
Yes. Oh, the debauchery.
So, I'm just wondering, like, how, see, now, is this an impulse of knowing instead of just letting it happen? Because I find it fascinating to get to that point that it's going to break on mainstream television, because it will be television first, won't it? It won't be sort of like, in the Guardian and
but it won't be it won't be print newspapers because those are dead.
Yeah. And I guess for humanity to believe it, or the general public to believe it, it will be CNN or it will be America. I guess because
it'll be a combination BBC, Reuters, all that stuff, Al Jazeera. Yeah. They're all going to have a unified 90-second story, or
they'll talk about snuffles in a tree, and I wonder what. Now I'll have to wait. I'm sure I'll have to wait to find out what that 90-second story is. What will compel them to actually put on that story? Will the story itself...
Coronavirus?
Yeah, okay.
That very much could do it. Coronavirus could trigger we got to tell you some truth. Example, we have to go to this technology that's, we got from aliens 100 years ago, because that's the only way to cure this virus, because this cure we need defies science.
Okay, yeah, so there'll be the crack in the dam, to put it that way. Yeah.
Right.
Because that's how close we are, where if someone... But it's got to be uniform. You can have a slip up where a newsreader in Scotland says, "Oh, there's these tachyon med beds and it'll save the world," and that was just being silly. You need across the board at least 6 or 7 different outlets to say the same story to get it traction. And then I think as you said, Reuters or BBC, when they put it forward, everyone else, because of the way that media is so hungry to be first and right. Well, not right, but first and try and get all that. They'll take the story and run with it. Because about a month ago, Zero Hedge put out an article saying that coronavirus came from a bioweapon lab in Wuhan, and they were thrown off Twitter for disinformation. Now you've got people in mainstream media,
saying the same, and a United States senator saying the same thing.
Yeah,
and it's haven't gotten their Twitter back. If you don't go to the website zerohedge.com, zerohedge.com, you should very much go to that website. You have some great coronavirus news, some great look at the stock markets, the fakeness of what's really going on there. Yes, highly recommend you guys go and use that website.
Also, Project Veritas have been thrown off Twitter as well. I think they've been.
But that's like the third time they've been thrown off.
Yeah, they keep sort of giving out their forms of disclosure and everything.
Yeah. So life as we know it, can it be summed up in 90 seconds? No, it can't. But they're going to give it to us in these 90-second bits. Now, generally, we said news is 22 minutes. Do you really think they're going to run the commercials on that day of disclosure?
No. They'll probably.
Who are they going to have on? Who's the lineup?
Would Alex Jones be asked?
No way.
Well, you.
He'd be drunk as a skunk. Screaming, "I told you! I told you!" He couldn't hold it down.
Yeah, but
he couldn't have a sane conversation.
He does it every night, but he does it every night. But he'll be happy about doing it. When he does it tonight, he's usually people are angry.
He'd be a babbling fool, and only his audience would really understand his jokes.
Yes. Actually, I don't know who would be the rep. Would you have awakened Hollywood celebrities, if that makes sense, like James Woods or I honestly don't know, so I'm spitballing because would someone from the alternative media be chosen? Is that a better way of answering it, or will it be just someone we don't know, or is it someone who can be trusted? Like, because no one in the media, if this comes out, everyone in the media is going to be, hang on a minute, you're full of shit. And everyone, like all the religions we said who have prominent figures, like Trump can get up there, but half the country would say get stuffed. The Pope would get up, and everyone's like, well, no, you hide pedophiles. The Queen, no.
The first 20 people that went up there would get the shit kicked out of them. Yeah,
basically, yeah, because we don't believe a one word of these lying cocksuckers. Because it's like
you've been lying to us for this whole time. Exactly.
Yeah.
Did the 1% put you up there to disclose to me? I don't believe you.
Yeah, and if they put someone up like me who could read a statement or whatever, it's like, who the fuck's this guy? Like, he's slightly attractive and funny, but who the fuck's this guy?
Pretty much.
To answer your question, I have no idea, unless you've got the people that get ostracized.
Nobody wants those first 20 spots.
Yeah.
Nobody wants. You want to wait till the two stages of truth, where it's ridiculed first, violently opposed second, then self-evident. You want to wait till the self-evident phase comes on.
Yeah. They laugh at you, they hate you, then they accept you. So you need the accepting part. Then a lot of people will step up because. As an example, if Sean David Morton survives jail, he could be someone. But
I personally put up somebody like Dave Chappelle.
Yes, someone like Chappelle would work. Who played Hercules? Kevin Sorbo. Yeah, well, just by going from reading their tweets, and they seem to. They've got common sense, if that makes
right. Dave Chappelle and some serious speechwriters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The presidential speech writer sits down with Dave Chappelle. Okay. Or somebody else, that's not necessarily a comedian or an actor, but somebody that's got known. I mean, obviously the Tesla guy. What's his face? Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Yep.
Elon Musk.
What about Neil? Nearly said Neil Patrick Harris. Maybe but the physicist guy, or do you think he's
Neil deGrasse Tyson? Tyson. Well, that guy would have a lot of crow to eat. He'd have a lot of crow to eat.
Yeah. So eventually, maybe not in the top 20, but he would be a good one later on after he's accepted.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah. Because
basically those guys that weren't zealot scientists saying science is the only way and spirituality is a bunch of hallucinators.
I would like to see the Dalai Lama's response. Oh, well.
I told you so. You didn't believe
me. I was chosen when I was 6, so I don't believe half the stuff. Why did I have Bill Clinton going to me? That would be interesting if they put Bill Clinton. Wow, what's going on? I was like, shut up, you pervert.
Exactly. The standard talking. Question. Right. The standard talking heads just wouldn't be there.
No.
Right.
But Chappelle would be a good start because he's loved and he's sort of fought back against the wokeness in that respect. And being, as I said earlier, with being a comedic mind,
Right.
you need to have it open to create, and you have to
Yeah.
find the funny. You make, get from point A to point B in a surprising way that creates a laugh. And so, if you have
Oprah
Yeah.
and Chappelle as a team.
ooh, that'll be
There you
interesting.
go. That's the winning Disclosure team. Oprah Winfrey and Dave Chappelle.
If Oprah opens up by saying, I'd like to apologize the whole Michael Jackson thing and Weinstein, and here's something else. And yeah, that could be a good start point. That would work.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. I've been asked.
Al, or somebody like Al Pacino and Sylvester Stallone.
With an interpreter.
Exactly.
I had a sketch idea for my acting school: William Shatner, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, everyone with a unique voice. Christopher Walken. What else? I guess you would have. I find it interesting. America is the front line, and you would have to have it sort of go out that way. Megan Fox? I don't think so. It'd be interesting. Yeah, that is a good question of like who, because anyone that would be from the spiritual alternative area, they won't be known enough, and everyone that is trusted now, they would not be trusted because that form of disclosure.
So you have your 90-second opening bit. You have your 90-second opening bit. Then you bring a guest on to talk about the 90-second, and whoever fills that first spot is going to have a really big target on themselves.
Yes. Someone in chat, just Gilbert Godfrey. That I would like to see. Okay, what's been happening is go back 50 million years, and there's been time wars. Okay, now. But yeah, so maybe even Joe Rogan. It could be at that level, but you need someone that is kind of loved across the board, which is kind of hard.
Right.
So,
right.
Because
what is the Al Jazeera crowd going to do? What is the Chinese crowd going to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the Middle East going to do? Is like, wait, we've been fighting each other over two guys that had a beef 30 million years ago. Come on.
Right. Okay. Then what are all the Australians going to do? Well, we don't count.
Well, it seems very similar to was it Project Bluebeam, where the idea was to put a hologram in the sky of a deity, and that will make the masses follow. But the question is, how would that work? Because if you're in Egypt, Jesus turning up wouldn't work. Here in Australia or the United States maybe Jesus, but Australia, we're so mixed, where it started out as a Christian values type country, but we have everyone, even Jedi got up to 70,000 signatures during the census, and it became a religion here. And so unless you've got a sporting guy turn out, it wouldn't work here in Australia, because you couldn't get the right character to be the hologram. So there's a similarity with what's going on, because you need the right person. And will it be global? And then they lead it off to local people. And all of this is happening at the same time as people are really realizing that government is a sham, religion is a sham, science is a sham. You've been lied to all your life. It's going to be, to quote South Park in a way, 9/11 times 1,000 be 9,900 or whatever.
So how do we save our culture from disclosure? That's the big question, why disclosure isn't done. How do you save it? How do you save it?
Well,
imagine being the first alien that's got to talk to the news.
Hi, been watching you guys for a while now.
Yeah, I'm really not creep.
From Alpha Centauri, just wondering if we can borrow some sugar. All these firsts are going to be fascinating. And how much fear? Well, also, will the media actually just not use the fear aspect at all? Because you know how they generate fear all the time. Well, because the fear alone, people are going to have fear anyway because their paradigms have been smashed.
This is when all the conspiracy people are going to backfire, and they're good because that's all they know. That's the only marketing they know is fear.
Yeah,
that's the only marketing they know is fear.
I know.
Not a single one of those motherfucking conspiracy thinkers has ever taken a marketing class. All they know is clickbait.
Yeah. Well, I noticed I'm getting more views by actually putting in, instead of just like Planet Collingwood and the date, I put in the subjects that we talk about, and my views have gone up. And so, I'm becoming one of those clickbaiters.
That's not clickbait. That's just logic 101.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I'm talking like, fear the aliens that are coming down and destroying our world.
Well, I took one of your inventions and I put it in one of my taglines. It's like, Planet Collingwood, let's have a hit of Hopium and watch some fear porn.
Yep. Hit a Hopium and watch some fear porn. Exactly.
Yeah, so it balances it out. So, because a lot of people will freak out anyway, where they've been giving, like, praying is a form of energy, and they've been giving energy to an alien who just wants to control and not actually, because short version is they should just pray for themselves or pray to themselves, like be your own shaman type deal.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I think somebody like Oprah Winfrey and Dave Chappelle would be the best way to introduce Alpha Centaurians, Pleiadians, whatever it is. Be able to use comedy to dispel some of the fear.
Oh, someone in chat, Truth Seeker suggested Ellen DeGeneres.
That could work.
That could work, yeah.
Oprah and Ellen could really work. Oprah and Ellen could really work, and then Dave Chappelle is like a news reporter, on the alien ship, walking around talking to them.
Yeah, I wonder if you say, I hate saying it, he would say N-word to all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Nigerians. I can say
Nigerians, exactly.
Yeah.
My homies.
Yeah. When I get back and stand up, I'll be sort of upsetting people by saying that word. I think I should be able to say it. I know I can't use it, if it makes that sense. But my comedic way of saying is Nigerians. So this Nigerian comes out of. So tell me about Lyra and all this type of stuff. So now, would they the aliens that step forward? Would they just be the bipeds, or will you get Ganesh? Or the cows, or the good reptiles, and all this stuff. Will it be like that, the Cantina in Star Wars?
Or if the whole point is to not self implode all of human culture, who do you introduce first?
Someone that looks human, obviously, like the Nordic sort of.
Human-ish.
Yeah, ish. So
yes.
Like Star Trek, but the cheap prosthetic on the nose, so they look slightly different. Wow. And also,
because you're not going to introduce the cephalopod species with 8 arms and no spines first, talking squids.
Yeah, that would kind of freak people out. Yeah. Like, Men in Black type stuff.
Yeah.
The movies, not the real Men in Black.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, that's what's going to happen with the the breakaway civilization? Can that come out of the hiding? Space Force.
Oh yeah, and then there's going to be a lot of people who want to join the breakaway civilizations. How do I get a passport to go over there? How do I sign up for breakaway civilization citizenship?
Wait. You mean I can go to Mars without Elon Musk? This is a great bit of news.
Exactly.
I think once we get past the shock, everything will be awesome, but it's going to be ugly because we have to get past the shock, and because a lot of people.
The whole porn industry is going to go crazy with all the new alien porn it's going to have to create,
and then wonder why no one's paying for it.
Exactly, and why no one's paying for it.
Yeah.
There's going to be some porn star that wants to get it on with a tall white.
Oh yeah, or a group of them.
Or a group of them, whatever, exactly. It's global unity,
Oh,
collective awakening porn.
Yeah, I'm bringing people together
That's good.
on a couch in a room. It's very allegedly. I have no idea what we're talking about. Oh, I find it fascinating. I really do. It's just seeing, but the build-up's going to be like, but the current, we need that crack in the dam. I have been saying for a while. Sorry if I sound egotistical. I have been saying, but I do say it on my show, that we are that close. They have to suppress certain things, and the media looks stupid all the time because they're not reporting everything. Because if the wrong bit of information, from their perspective, the wrong bit of information gets out, it's cracking the dam or an avalanche, and we get disclosure on that level.
Or it's a 90-second trickle, and it's not an explosion or a crack in the dam. It's just a 90-second trickle.
Yeah, I think I remember a very 100-word article on page 7 of a free newspaper here in Melbourne, saying, "Oh yeah, we've met aliens before," and
yes,
that was it.
Putin has President Putin, Vladimir Putin has said 3 times on live TV, "Aliens are real. We have actually met them. Let's move on." 3 times, and he wasn't kidding. He actually said it.
Yeah, I'm similar with Obama, where it's like, he called his significant other, Michael, twice at a White House press conference. La, 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 la. It's, okay. Yeah. And that's the other thing of from the scientific community, what will happen to NASA?
Never a straight answer. Never a straight answer. Yeah, we'll have to give a straight answer.
Yeah, I think a straight answer.
It'll be as bad as the Pope.
Yeah.
You're sitting on what? All the technology you've been holding back, like the Pope on the Golden Crown and all the books beneath the library?
Yeah, and I would like, because of Project Paperclip, I want the NASA representative to have a German accent.
Yeah.
We have been hiding this for a while now, okay? We apologize. Because I watched a video of a lady, a moral Jew, as she said, that the Nazis have infiltrated Israel as well, because they met thing, and like, the whole world's basically stuffed, and we're just seeing it melt away and getting to that point now that, I get, this is when my tiredness kicks in. It's like, can you just do something? Or have I broken through, but my beliefs have kept me in this waiting room, and I haven't realized that I've broken through yet?
What are you waiting for in the waiting room? Your 90-second disclosure ad?
Yeah, well, yeah, I need confirmation on the TV in the corner. Yeah, aliens are real. Let's go to Dave with the weather.
Exactly. Let's go to Dave with the weather. There are UFOs in the air controlling the weather systems, and we're all going to have good weather for a while.
We've rectified the angle of the planet, so now everywhere is exactly the same, which will be boring eventually. So.
Yes. This has been a really, really fun show. Thank you. You have illuminated my heart. Thank you, thank you. We're going to call into it. Monty, hang on the line. We're going to go out into a break, where I want to talk to you on the other side. All right, Robert, let's take us away. Thanks a lot, everyone. And if you guys are interested in having a private session with me, we have a special that's going on. That is special. You can contact Michelle at MPA at Galactic Historian. And Monty, you want to give away for people to get a hold of you?
I'm on YouTube, which is Monty Dean, or the web address is WaferThinENT1, which is short for entertainment. I'm also on Twitter at Real Monty Dean, and I'm part of Revolution Radio Wednesdays at 2 a.m. New York time for 2 hours, which is Planet Collingwood Open Roundtable. So if anyone wants to have a chat, you'll get a Skype thingy, and you're most welcome to join.
All right, Robert, take us away. And hold on, Monty. We're going to go into a breakout room.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma.
Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.